My name is Ken McCardle, and this is a quick voiceover of my PowerPoint presentation. And I just wanted to go over this game that's called All in the Cards Football. Over here, you can see cards. These are actually some of the cards that are in this deck of cards, all the results of plays. You turn every third card like solitaire so that things never happen twice. They get shuffled up really well after each shuffle and the change of possession. It shows that we play seasons of this game. This is the 2016 season. That's the 1990 season. We've been playing for over 20 years, and these are dice charts that are referred to when you roll the dice for field goals and turnovers, and this is a score sheet. Moving on to the next page. These are positive selling points and marketing advantages to the game. You can pause and read this whenever you're ready. Basically, though, the biggest points that I feel are about this game are card games live on forever. The great card games will sell forever. They'll be played forever. There's something to be said about the excitement that a turn of a card can produce or create. They wear out. They have to be replaced when you play cards. About 100 games, 150 games, you have to replace these cards. They get pretty soft. You can play entire seasons. This can be used for an app like a cell phone app, an iPad app, a computer app, where it does the stats for you. And just imagine you could play entire seasons and communicate with your friends on the road and playing them. So it's pretty amazing of what the derivatives are for this game. Licensing with the ESPN and NFL has a lot of advantages to market the direct market. Educational value of this game is priceless. I mean, it's progressive math as fast as you can turn every third card. It's an adult made for adults, males 18 and up, but young boys will play it. Young women can play this game, and there's more and more women falling in love with football these days, so they can actually learn the schematics of football so easily with this game because of the progression. So anyways, there's several different price points here, or selling points here that you can refer to. This is the back of the game box. You can read through that. Here is a YouTube video. If you get the presentation and you're looking at the presentation, you just click on the YouTube video and it shows you a game being played. It's about a 25-minute video, but most of it's talking about the game. I think the game only took about 15 minutes to play. Let's move to the next page. Statistical comparisons. My game compared to the NFL. Basically, you'll be looking at the orange column, which is my stats, and the categories of field goals made, field goals attempted, sacks, interceptions, fumbles, punts, rushing yards, passing yards. More statistics are perfected. It's just there's so much we really need to put into the presentation right now, and this is already a lot, so we just kind of left it to these main statistics. Then this is the NFL's 2015 statistics in blue, and the 2016 NFL statistics in green, and these are the accuracy percentages of this number, my statistics, compared to this number. So if you took the lower number and divided it by this number, you get 95% point something. So basically 99% accurate, 97% accurate, 97% accurate, 94% accurate, 88% accurate on punts, but 93% accurate in 2016. So you get the idea. Rushing statistics. This one might get you impressed a little bit. Card game, 55,997 yards in our season we just played with the 2016 schedule. And then the 2015 NFL statistics and real life statistics, 99.5% accurate, 55,726, 55,763 in 2016, 99.6% accurate, I believe. So anyways, basically, if you statistically perfect all the yardages, touchdowns, and things like that, overtime games and ties and things like that will be perfected. Another picture of the game. We're going to change the name of the game. I like Football Fever, Pro Football Fever. All in the Cards Football was the original name of a football game that I designed years ago that basically was a card game. I've changed a lot. I mean, it's almost a derivative at this point. Punts are different, field goals are different, so many things are different. But it's still a card football game that has the statistical perfection that we always look for. This game came out when we did a baseball game endorsed by Jose Canseco. We presented the football game to Toys R Us. We were too late because the artwork needed to be changed, and they went with baseball instead. We did a full-page ad in USA Today, and all kinds of things happened with the baseball game. And Jose Canseco in this game never made it to Toys R Us. So years later, I've always said this is the best game I've ever designed. I've also designed a game endorsed by Webster's Dictionary called Word Madness. It plays like Go Fish with letters, wrote children's books and different things like that. But this is the greatest product I've ever put together, and it never had a chance on the market. So you're seeing it now because I kept working on it, and this is what I've come up with. But passing yards, you can see they're all perfected. Touchdowns, let's move on. Fumbles, same thing. This is a chart over here that shows how a fumble is recorded in the box. So it shows one being returned for a touchdown, and it shows you how to make a fumble occur and all these different things, and all the stats, of course, mine, NFL's 2015, 2016, perfected. Interceptions, same format. Sacks, same format. This one just, basically shows the play before and then an interception occurring. So this is an interception 10 yards upfield, so INT 10. The return is 15 yards. Ball ends up at the 30-yard line because it was at the opponent's 15. Plus means the opponent's 25, Dash would mean, and minus sign would mean their own 25. So they were going in for a score, and the ball ended up being at the opponent's 30. So when the other team took over, they were at their own 30. That's why it says minus. And then over here, it shows that you were at your own 35. Underline means it was a first down at the time this occurred. It was sack minus 6, so a minus 6-yard sack, fumbled, returned 12 yards to the 17-yard line. So basically 6 and 12 is 18, less 35 is 17. That's where the other team took over. Okay, moving on. And here's an example of a punt being recorded. It shows P for punt, 45-yard punt. It was a 4-yard return, so the net's 41, and the ball ends up at the 39-yard line. 20 plus 41 is 61, less 100 is 39. The 20 plus means you were at the opponent's 20-yard line kicking a field goal. The field goal was 38 yards. You always add 18 yards to a field goal attempt, just like the NFL, 8 yards deep where they put the ball, and then 10 yards deep in the end zone where the goal posts are located. It was blocked. Returned 25 yards to the 45-yard line. Moving on. Turnovers. Turnovers shows you how they occur over here on the left, and over here you roll the dice. Now here you can roll a 2, and the running back is crushed at the line of scrimmage and fumbles the ball forward 10 yards upfield. This makes it possible to return a fumble up to 109 yards for a touchdown, because if you roll a 2, it's recovered and returned for a touchdown. And then on the 12, which is also 2.78% chance of rolling a 12 or a 1, the interception occurs 10 yards upfield and returned for a touchdown. So you can return an interception up to 110 yards for a touchdown. And all these different turnovers. So in some of them you can return, some of them you can't, just to perfect statistics. You can have a block kick if this card comes up during a punt. And we'll go over that later. Okay, here's your punts. Again, the comparisons. And then it shows you different scenarios of punts. And if you watch these, the average punt in the NFL is 45 yards. And if you total all these up over an entire season, we're at that number. This shows a 27-yard block punt return for a touchdown that happened there. Okay, so anything can happen. And then moving to the next one, field goals. Again, showing all the comparisons of field goals, which are perfected. And then you come over here and you can see examples of field goals. Here's one that was blocked and returned for a touchdown on the last play of the first half by the Raiders, who eventually lost. And then the field goal chart. Okay, so now remember that it's like 97% chance that you won't roll a 2. Well, that helps us perfect field goals, because we're at a 97% success rate on this field goal from 19 to 29 yards, and the NFL is at 97%. We're at 94% success rate on the 30 to 39-yard field goal, and so is the NFL. And a 40 to 49, we're at 75% success rate, and so is the NFL. So you get the point. Extra points, we're perfected. A little bit off on these, I think. I have not gotten a statistic chart to be able to compare mine to, so I'm, rolling the dice on this, you might say. But 66.3% success rate on a 50 to 55, and a 32% success rate on a 56 to 59-yard field goal, and only a 17% rate at 60 to 65 yards. Since the NFL record is 65 yards, we don't let you kick one longer than that. Calling timeouts. When you call timeouts, you get to use a box twice. So in this case, they got a little closer to kick a 50-yard field goal on the last play of the half. And over here, they got the ball back. You can call timeouts to get the ball back. And then getting started, basically it shows you how to set up the score pad. This is Cowboys, Redskins, Cowboys, Redskins. So in the second half, it's Redskins, Cowboys, Redskins, Cowboys, just like the NFL. You can see all the underlines means first down, first down. Their side of the field is negatives, and then the positives is you're on the other side of the field. You're on your opponent's side of the field until you go down and kick a field goal. Important note, when you do a kickoff return, you add 20 yards to the turn. So if it's 0, it would be a 20-yard kickoff return to the 20-yard line. If it was a 6, it would be out at the 26. If it was an 8, it would be out at the 28. If it was a -6 sack card, it would be out at the 14-yard kickoff return. So basically gives you the idea how to do that. How to flip a card. You always turn every third card. If you have small hands or little kids, they can turn every other card. But if you turn every card, the same things might start reoccurring. So you don't want to do that. Oops. Get that back up here real quick. Okay, good deal. And then let's move to the next one. Listed on the next 2 pages. Basically, this is more instructions. This is not something you'll do in the game. All this shows you is that it's 1st and 10. The Eagles flipped up an 8-yard gain card, so it's 2nd and 2. So it was 1st and 10. They flipped an 8-yard gain, so it's 2nd and 2. And basically it shows, you can read through this later. I'll zoom in on that in case you want to read it and pause it. And then look at that. And how they score and keep score over here. And then first downs, again, you underline first downs. So it's easy to calculate them at the end. Sample of an overtime game. Overtime is kept down here in the 5th quarter boxes. Shows how all these plays happened. There was a last play field goal by the Steelers, put it in overtime, and the Redskins won in overtime after getting an interception and scoring. Overtime rules, that's pretty much what the NFL's rules are, kind of, sort of. And then crazy plays that can happen. Up to 3 fumbles on a play, 109-yard touchdown. I mean, anything. Block field goals, return for touchdowns, up to a 65-yard field goal. You can have an onside kick that can go up to 25 yards upfield. It'll actually put you in field goal range if you recovered it. No gain cards. They have a couple of different values. Mostly they're no gains. But on a punt, if they come up, it's an automatic 42-yard punt and fair catch. It used to be 40, but we're 2 yards off on punt, so we perfected it. And then here's the dice combination chart that shows you the percentages of dice rolls, the 2.78 I was telling you about on the 2 and the 12. And that's how we calculate to make statistics for field goals be accurate, like we talked about before. Again, the game. Just some samples of some games you can look at if you want to zoom in on them. And then this is our statistics that we totaled up. It's hard to see them all, but our statistics, we play each game. Sometimes there were only 28 teams in a week because they had bye weeks and whatnot. That's over there. The week statistics per team, totaled all up and compared to the NFL. We'd started off with the 2015 season. Penalty flags, they're optional. And that's our presentation. So hopefully you'll have some questions for me. I'm Ken McCardle. And I'm looking forward to getting this game back out on the market and hopefully getting some big hitters involved like the NFL or ESPN or a big name football player like Tom Brady or something would be great. But he's probably pretty busy right now. But that's all on the cards football, looking to change that game to Pro Football Fever. And thank you for watching our presentation, and be looking out for this game. It's coming. Thank you.